The healthcare industry is one of the world's largest and fastest growing industries. In Canada, the healthcare sector offers a lot of job opportunities, pays a lot of money, and offers immigration pathways to settling in Canada. Switching your profession can be a strategic move towards landing a high-paying job and increasing your earning potential. Today, I have here with me a guest who will be sharing with us a transformative journey from working as a pharmacist to earning 6 figures working as a nurse. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. As you can see, I have a beautiful guest here who will be sharing with us our journey. Onyeka, do you want to introduce yourself? I know people have been waiting for this video.
I know.
It's happening finally.
Okay guys, so you already know. So my name is Onyeka Asamaka, and I'm a Nigerian-Canadian YouTuber based in Ontario, Canada. I make videos about my lifestyle, immigration content, and all of that good stuff. So please feel free to check out my channel, as I'm sure that you find something valuable for you. Yeah, exactly.
I'll link it below. So I have a lot of questions for you today. Hope you are ready, because I'm going to give you bumper to bumper. Tell us what your education background is.
Okay guys, so I had my bachelor's degree in Nigeria as a pharmacist, which took about 5 years, and then I moved to Canada. I did my master's in public health for 1 year, and then I went back to nursing school and I got a nursing degree, and my program lasted for about 19 months. So that's it in a nutshell. My educational background is not that complicated. So,
well, it seems like you've always been in the healthcare sector.
Yes, I've always been in the healthcare sector. Yeah.
So what motivated you to transition from working in pharmacy to becoming a nurse?
Honestly, a lot of people think it has a lot to do with job opportunities or whatever, or money. To be honest, that's not the exact reason. Actually, my reason was very basic. Okay, so what happened is, when I came to Canada, as a licensed professional, like a lawyer, engineer, or whatever, you can't just practice. You need to get certified in the country. So as a pharmacist, there was like a couple of hurdles and exams I needed to do, and I'm like, it was very overwhelming for me. And the truth is, my decision came from a place of lack of knowledge. Like, I just didn't have enough information to pursue the pharmacy career, and I looked into the nursing option, and it was a lot easier for me. Yeah, actually it was easier. So with the pharmacy, I needed to do an internship all over again, write about 2 or 3 exams, and then in Ontario, if you fail the exam twice, you can no longer practice in Ontario. So like, just reading the criteria, I was like, okay, that scared me. And then looking at the nursing degree, it was just 19 months and I had all the prerequisite courses, so it was just easier for me. And then the time frame was even quicker with the nursing. Exactly. So I was like, okay, they're about in the same field, but from like different perspective. I'm like, okay, it's not too far off, I can do this. But to be honest, I wasn't even sure I wanted to do it. So I applied to only just one school, because I was like, okay, let me just test the waters. If I get in, I get in, and it was meant to be. But I was like, if I don't get in, then I'll just focus on my pharmacy career. So I applied to one school, the rest was history. So
that's good. I like that your motivation is not money or job opportunities. It wasn't money related. But if you were somebody like me, money would probably be...
Yeah, it's supposed to be an Igbo girl. You should have been an Igbo girl.
I know you kind of touched on a little bit on your process of transitioning, but for anyone out there that is watching, what would you say the process of transitioning from a pharmacist to becoming a nurse is like?
Honestly, it wasn't too far off, especially as a pharmacist. But I'm going to address this as a pharmacist, and maybe for like other healthcare professionals, not necessarily pharmacists. So for a pharmacist, it was easy for me because even while I was in school, I didn't get to do pharmacology, pharmaceutical microbiology. Well, not pharmaceutical microbiology, microbiology itself. So I was able to drop some courses because I already had the credits for my bachelor's degree, and I was like, so like I had it easier than my classmates because I was sort of experienced. But if you belong to like a profession that didn't have these specific courses already, let's say a physiotherapist or biochemist or something, it shouldn't be too far off because it's all healthcare. Like, it's not going to be strange to you. That's what I'm going to say. And honestly, it was very easy. And I believe that if you study well enough, it should be pretty easy for you. Like, it's not hard at all. But if you're coming from a profession like maybe the arts, it's going to be strange,
like
to
different.
For example, if you wanted to do it, it's going to be very strange. Like the terminology, the vocabulary is going to be different. But as a healthcare professional, honestly, transitioning is pretty easy.
Okay, thank you, but absolutely not for me. So how long did it take you to get your nursing license? Because you have to be licensed to practice, right?
Yes.
And after school, you have to write the licensing exam.
Exactly. So for the education, I started September of 2020 during the pandemic, and I finished last year April. That's April 2021. The program was for 19 months, and I went to the University of Western Ontario. I believe they have the shortest program in the country, I believe. But give or take, just say 2 years, because other schools, they do it in 2 years. So I schooled for that amount of time, and afterwards I took the exam. And honestly, the exam, it varies. For me, I took the exam in early May. I finished school in April, so I studied for like 5-6 weeks, and I took the exam in one sitting, and I was done.
Scholastica.
But for some people, they study for about 2-3 months, depending on what you're comfortable with. So let's say you're done with school, give yourself about 2-3 months to practice for the exam, and that's it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
But you also need to, you forgot to mention the part that you are a genius.
I don't want to brag. Honestly, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I learn differently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to read something 100 times to learn it.
Understand.
And like I've always said, whenever I talk about my nursing journey, while I was in school, it was remote, luckily. So I didn't get to go to classes. I only went for like my clinicals and my lab simulations. If you're a nurse, you understand what I mean. I didn't have a note. If you say, Monyeka, go and bring your nursing school books. You don't have. I just watched all the class videos and took my exams. Then when I studied for the exams, I studied in a MCQ format, like just answering questions, and that was it.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. That's good.
So for me, learning is different for everybody. Yeah,
so do what works for you. If you have to give us like a high level estimate or summary, like how much would you say it cost you to get your go to school, get your nursing license? I know you also have to translate your education from Nigeria to Canada and all those things. So like a high level estimate, how much would you say it cost you to get your nursing license?
I would say approximately 15,000 Canadian dollars. We'll put the breakdown on the screen.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so something I also wanted to add was that when I applied, I was an international student at that time.
Okay.
So I applied hoping that I'll have gotten my permanent residency and then I will switch over. So when I got the admission, I was still an international student. Like I was in the process of getting my PR. And then 2 weeks later I became a PR. So I messaged the school to change my tuition. So the first tuition that they gave to me, it was $45,000.
Wow. So that means the 15K that you're even saying is for permanent resident.
Yeah. So per 2 terms, it was 45,000 Canadian dollars. And then when I told them to switch it over to domestic student status, it became 7,000 per 2 terms. Yeah. Wow. No, per 2 terms.
Wow.
So,
for
yeah.
the 2 terms.
So the entire program was 14K.
Wow. So
so just imagine an international student would pay almost 100K
to become a nurse. Wow, that's a lot of money. I'm glad that you were able to benefit from the system. So don't say Canada has done nothing for you.
Exactly. Honestly, I knew that if I didn't become a permanent resident, there's no way I could have afforded the program.
Because you would have had to get student loan.
How do I pay back 90,000?
You make the money now, nothing is paying.
You go explain because no evidence.
How did your pharmacy experience benefit you when you started to work as a nurse or when you were even trying to transition?
As a pharmacist, you're not new to like the healthcare terminologies and vocabulary and all of that stuff. So it really helped me, and especially medications. So I know my medications. I remember while I was in school, my classmates, they struggled a lot with the drugs. Even today, they don't really know the name. Like when they struggle to pronounce it, I just pronounce it and I tell them this is how it works. Like I explain the chemistry about the medication. They're like, wow. Most of them don't even believe that I'm a pharmacist. They're like, you're joking. I'm like, So it was pretty easy. Like I said, they're on the same level playing field, but just from like different perspective. Exactly. So it was pretty easy.
That means it was beneficial that you had like a pharmaceutical background.
Exactly. So that's what made my journey really easy, honestly.
So that means if it's someone like me that is coming to that field, it would be a lot harder for me.
Yep. You like struggle. Yeah, exactly.
I know that you said that it was much easier for you to transition, but would you say there were any challenges that you faced during that period?
Honestly, I would say yes, in terms of, because I had to stop working to go back to school full time. So yes, financially I wasn't as free as I would have wanted. Like I wasn't as financially independent as I would have wanted. Just being back in school, writing papers, all of those things, it's not very fun. If you've been to school before, it's not the nicest thing to do. So financially, academically, like doing the school work, also just dealing with the drama of school, working, for example, like when I was doing my placement, it's sort of like I was working for free
because you're not getting paid.
Exactly. And then you also don't really have that much time to get a side job. I mean, I didn't work, but I could if I wanted to, but I think I saved for that, exactly. So I prepared financially for that period
of your life. So like it's just like a sacrifice,
exactly,
and a trade-off that is paying off in thousands of dollars right now.
Stop it.
That's the same way I'm sacrificing for my, because I've prepared for it.
Yeah,
that's not part of the video.
Cut that part.
Speaking of money, because that part is very important, trust me, not everybody will say their motivation was because they just landed there. For some people, it's the money, it's the job opportunities, which is very, very important. So would you say nursing is a high-paying profession?
Honestly, I would say it's both ways. You just need to find that part of nursing that pays really well. So let me explain. The low-paying job, let's say you're just stuck in like a clinic earning the minimum nursing wage, you're only going to make basic salary. I mean, you're not going to be hungry, but you make basic salary. But if you tap into the high-paying parts of nursing, which is travel nursing, which has become a thing since like the pandemic, travel nursing, they pay really well, like especially during the pandemic. Like I'm not even joking, they were paying as high as $150 per hour.
Wow. And you know what, I actually believe you, because I know a travel nurse in the US. She moved from Canada to the US and she's making the bank. Travel nursing in Canada pays, but it doesn't even pay as
not
close
compared to the US.
I
had a friend who moved, she was in London, so we talked a lot that period. And then I was like, girl, go for it, because her sister was there. I was like, go for it. Exactly. So you just need to find that part of nursing that pays really well. And right now I would say it's travel nursing, and you have to be like a self-contractor, so you do all of your expenses yourself. Exactly. So the you know what I mean,
independent contractor, that's what they call it. So you make your bank. Even me, that's what I'm looking at. And
then pick your overtime, you know, but don't do too much overtime so you don't get burnt out, all of that stuff. So there's like both ends of nursing.
Yeah, but take advantage of the fact that you can maximize your income. I'm always forgetting your bag. I know that it's just a sacrifice that you do for a while. Just know that, okay, maybe for the first few years of my life, or the first few years that I became a nurse, or maybe while I don't have kids, or I don't have a spouse or something, you could make that sacrifice for the early part of your career, then make as much money as you can, and over time look for, and in that case you would also learn as well. It would help you grow because you have gained a lot of experience. You meet people, and you can transition that into something that will be paying you even more when you're no longer a travel nurse. But
for me, since I have a husband and I can't really afford to travel that far, so I try to find a middle ground between both. I have a full-time job, and then on my off days I pick up local travel nursing shifts. So like
for extra money.
Yes, just to you know what I mean.
So you can do that to combine everything, make as much money as you can. You're not in Canada to count bridge.
One other thing I wanted to add was that I didn't want to do a Monday to Friday kind of job, because I knew I wouldn't be able to have that time to pick up that extra shift. Because if I work Monday to Friday, is it my weekend I want to be picking extra shift? No. So when I do the waterfall shifts, it's 4 days on, 5 days off. On my 5 days off, I work as a nurse as well, and as a content creator as well.
Oh wow, so you're maximizing your income potential. Love that for you. Get your bag, sis. Period.
Get the dollars.
I know that not everyone watching this video are currently in the healthcare profession, or even anything relating to science. What advice do you have for them that are looking to transition into nursing, or anyone out there looking to transition to become a nurse in Canada?
Honestly, I would say go for it. Even if it's not nursing, if it's something that you're thinking about it and you're passionate about, just go for it. Like, if you are in the healthcare industry as well, it's going to be easier for you. Like I said earlier, just go for it. Do your research. Google is your friend, guys. Google, like, you don't always have to rely on people to tell you what to do. Always just look things up. You know, you'll find information that you need online. Just check different schools and make sure you check the tuitions, be sure that you can afford it.
Yes.
If you're not in the healthcare industry and you're looking to get into nursing, you can take some prerequisite courses online or from colleges like the anatomy, physiology, statistics, or online you can take it from athabascauniversity.ca. I'll try to leave, I'll make her leave it in the description box for you guys to click on. But yeah, that's it. Just take your prerequisite courses and then apply, and that's it. If you get in, that's it.
What about study tips?
Study tips, I would just say study your materials as you go. Don't pile them up. You know the typical study tips from like undergrad days.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's the same thing. And then for the exam, don't stress about it. Just don't stress. I started studying like the last 4 months of my program because I was doing my practicum then, and it was a remote position. So I was home. I was about,
Yeah,
I had time on my hands. I had the luxury to do whatever I wanted to do. So start studying towards the end of your program. But if you're not able to handle that level of pressure, wait till your program is done, then start studying. And then you can even start working as a nurse before the exam, but you'll be a temporary nurse.
So there's something called temporary.
Yeah, for 3 months.
Yeah, okay, so that's your sign to go and make more research and find out more about how to utilize that period that you're a temporary nurse, so you can start getting your bag. Anyway, you've covered all the important part and all the questions that I think that any viewer out there would need. If there are any questions that you potentially have, feel free to leave them in the comment below. Monica will definitely be happy to answer your questions.
Be there.
And we're also going to be making a video on our channel right now. It's up right now. Go check it out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to do so. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Like
Give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care and bye.